At some point in life, we all thought it would be fun to be a theme park mascot. Think about it. You get to wear a cool costume, wave at excited kids, dance around in a magical kingdom, and make people smile all day. Sounds amazing, right? Wrong. Because behind that giant, smiling character head is a person sweating like a farm animal, dodging unruly children, barely surviving on low wages, and suffering from levels of physical exhaustion that would make an Olympic athlete quit. Being a theme park mascot isn't just a job, it's a punishment. So before you start picturing yourself prancing around in a Mickey Mouse suit, let's break down why this job absolutely sucks. First things first, let's talk about the costume. Ever seen a theme park mascot? They look adorable. Big, fluffy, larger-than-life characters designed to make kids giggle and parents take overpriced photos. But inside that cute, oversized, friendly character suit, it's absolute hell. The weight of regret. For starters, it weighs a ton. A full mascot suit can weigh anywhere from 10 to 30 pounds, and that's before you even factor in the extra accessories like giant gloves, oversized shoes, and an unreasonably heavy foam head that turns basic movements into an upper body workout. And just to make things more fun, they don't design these costumes for comfort. The visibility is awful. You can barely see 2 feet in front of you, meaning you're constantly tripping over curbs, nearly stepping on toddlers, and walking into things. The moment you put on that suit, you are blind, unbalanced, and basically at the mercy of fate. And that's before we even talk about the real enemy, the heat. Theme parks are usually outdoors, meaning you're wearing a full body oven in the middle of summer, while tourists are walking around in shorts and tank tops. You don't have that luxury. Instead, you're trapped inside a heat-absorbing, sweat-locking suffocation chamber that feels like it was designed as some sort of military endurance test. There's no ventilation, no AC, just you, your own body heat, and the slow realization that this suit is basically a portable sauna. The sweat fountain begins. Within 2 minutes, you are drenched in sweat. By hour 2, you've lost about a gallon of fluids. Your clothes underneath? Soaked. Your socks? A swamp. Your body? Overheating like a 20-year-old car driving uphill. And don't think you can just chug water and be fine. You can't drink too much, because bathroom breaks are a logistical nightmare. That suit doesn't just rip off easily. Getting out of it requires a full process, often with a handler's help, meaning if you need to use the restroom, you better hold it. And by the end of the shift, you could probably wring out your costume and fill a kiddie pool with pure regret. Breaks? Good luck. If you think you can just take a break whenever you want, think again. Most mascots only get short breaks every few hours, and even then, there's no escaping the heat. Break areas are small, overcrowded, and usually not much cooler than outside. You sit down for 5 minutes, trying to regain consciousness, while dripping sweat onto the floor, knowing that in moments you'll have to put that disgusting, sweat-filled head back on and go wave at another group of sticky children. And just when you think the worst part is over, now you have to go back outside and pretend like you're having the time of your life. One of the golden rules of being a mascot is staying in character. No matter what happens, no matter how hot, tired, or emotionally dead inside you feel, you cannot break character. That means no talking, even if you're suffocating in the suit. No removing your head, even though you're about to pass out. No reacting to insane situations, and there will be plenty. So let's say you're dressed as a friendly cartoon dog. Now imagine a kid punches you in the stomach. A dad accidentally spills soda all over your furry leg. A group of teenagers think it's funny to mess with you. You can't react. You just have to stand there, smile through your pain and dehydration, and continue waving like everything is fine. Because if you so much as slip up for 1 second, guess what? You just ruined that kid's childhood. Do you want to be known as the person who traumatized a child at Disneyland? No? Then stay in character. no matter how miserable, sweaty, or on the verge of collapse you are. People like to say that kids are pure, sweet, and full of innocence. That's adorable and completely false. Because the moment children step into a theme park, they transform. They become tiny, sugar-fueled, sleep-deprived, overstimulated goblins with zero impulse control and absolutely no respect for personal space. And guess who's their number one target? You. You, in your giant, fluffy, sweat-filled costume, are nothing more than a living, breathing plaything, a punching bag with legs. You ever wonder what it feels like to get ambushed in broad daylight? Be a mascot, because kids don't just interact with mascots, they attack them. They will pull your tail. If your character has one, consider yourself doomed. Slap your oversized head, because apparently you're just a walking pinata. Poke your belly, yes, multiple times. And yes, it gets really annoying. Kick your legs, you're not sure why, but they all do it. And the worst part? You are completely defenseless. Because remember, you can't break character. No matter how much you want to shove that little gremlin away, you have to stand there, smiling, waving, and pretending this isn't the worst moment of your life. And sometimes it gets worse. Because kids don't just attack you, they cry. A lot. You'd be amazed at how many kids are terrified of mascots. It doesn't matter how friendly, cheerful, and non-threatening your character is. To a 5-year-old, you are a giant, furry monster that just crawled out of their nightmares. 1 second, a kid is running towards you with excitement. The next, they're screaming, crying, and clinging to their parents like you just threatened to steal their soul. And who gets blamed for it? You. Even though you literally did nothing. Parents will glare at you like you personally ruined their vacation. They will say things like, "Why did you do that to him? We waited in line for this. You just scared my child for life." Oh, I'm sorry, Karen. I guess I should have shapeshifted into a less terrifying version of myself just for your kid's comfort. My bad. But let's just say you're dealing with a kid who isn't scared. Let's say they actually like your character. Well, guess what? Now you have another problem, because that kid will not let go of you. They will hug you, and not a normal hug. Not a cute, quick hug where they say hi and move on. No, this is a full-body, vice-grip bear hug that will last until their parents pry them off you. You are trapped. You are suffocating. You are seconds away from losing consciousness, and there is nothing you can do about it. And to make things worse, some kids don't just hug, they climb. Yes, climb. They will grab onto your arms and start swinging like you're a jungle gym. They will attempt to ride you like a horse. They will use your costume as their personal amusement park. And all you can do? Just stand there, wave, and pray you survive. If you thought the kids were bad, just wait until you deal with adults. Because for some reason, grown people love messing with mascots. Drunk tourists? A nightmare. They will try to hug you way too long, make inappropriate jokes about your character, attempt to wrestle you because they think it's funny. And you can't fight back. Teenagers? Even worse. They'll see a mascot and immediately decide that today is the day they test their luck. They'll try to pull off your head, steal parts of your costume, jump on your back, and run away. And then there are the Karens. Because yes, even at theme parks, Karens exist. They'll complain about your performance. Why aren't you more energetic? They'll complain about the waiting time for a photo. I've been standing here for 10 minutes. And if their kid doesn't get the perfect interaction, they'll demand to speak to your manager. You are a human being trapped in a sweaty prison, barely holding on to life, and they'll still treat you like a bad waiter who forgot their extra ketchup. Being a mascot isn't just physically exhausting. It's body-destroying. Your back? Done. Your legs? Gone. Your arms? Barely functioning. Walking around in a 30-pound suit for 8 hours a day will absolutely wreck you. And because the suit is one giant sweat trap, you'll constantly feel dehydrated and overheated. Ever wondered what it's like to have heat exhaustion? Mascots find out real quick. And let's not forget about the smell. Because after a full shift of sweating inside the costume, it smells like death. And guess what? Mascot suits aren't washed as often as you think. So every time you put it on, you're getting a fresh whiff of sweat, regret, and whatever disaster happened to the last poor soul who wore it. So after dealing with extreme heat, rowdy kids, annoying adults, physical exhaustion, and smelling like a gym locker, why do people become mascots? Some do it because they need the paycheck. Some do it because they love making kids happy. And some because they had no idea what they were signing up for. Because a theme park mascot isn't magical. It's a non-stop, sweat-drenched, patience-testing endurance challenge. So next time you see a mascot at a theme park, be nice to them. Because underneath that smiling costume, there's a person suffering.